Hey everybody, welcome back to Shop Time with Traxxas Mike. Today we rebuilt an E-Revo diff with spiral cut gears. Let's go!
What's going on everybody? Traxxas Mike from My RC Life. The last video where I was launching the E-Revo and the Max off the top of that 30-foot hill and doing backflips, the E-Revo was starting to make a clicking noise. And if you look really closely at this diff, teeth are good, teeth are good, teeth are good, and that's all it takes, just a couple bad teeth there. I see 1, 2, 3. That one right there is chipped good, and these two on the outside here, that one's chipped good. And this one to the right and this one to the left are chipped decently good. The pinion itself looks to be in good shape. But yeah, that's all it takes. So if you got a little grippier tire like this, instead of the stock Talon tire, which don't have as much tread, as you can see, the tread's smaller, so it don't dig in as deep into the dirt or whatever you're driving on. It can put more strain on other things on your drivetrain. Now, what usually would have happened is it probably would have blew a drive axle, but I got the metal ones on there now. So that didn't go. So the next thing to go was the diff. Now, I've had these diffs go out on the 10 scale Revo, and I've had the 16 scale Revo it really happens in quite often. And actually my son's 16 scale E-Revo, it just happened in as well. So what I like to do to get past that is go ahead and order the helical cut gears, the spiral cut gears. And I'm going to show you right now why the spiral cut gears are so much better. As you'll see, when you got this pinion rotating around, you got one tooth engaged, and the tooth to the right and tooth to the left are like basically just coming off from engagement as it rolls around. So you have one tooth engaged, and that's the most it has. Now, when we grab the helical cut or the spiral cut gears, you will notice it has 2 full teeth engaged at all times. See that? So there's a lot more contact space. So when you land, you got a lot of pressure, and you got the car, you got the throttle. Say you're doing a backflip, and you land under throttle, and it hits, something's got to give. It's either the tires are going to give on the dirt and spin, but when you're landing so hard, sometimes the tires don't want to spin. So it will do something like click, and that's what will happen right there. It'll shed a tooth. But with these, you're way more likely for that tire to spin and all your drivetrain stay intact. It's just one other thing that I needed to upgrade. Now, I thought I had this all ready to go, and then I got looking at my casing here, and I noticed it had a heck of a crack there. So I had to order a new casing and wait for that to come in. And here's the new casing there, 5380. And also, I had to buy a whole new diff rebuild, 5382X. This will work for the Summit or the Revo, because this little guy right here was cracked right in half. Can you see the crack in it? So yeah, I had to order that so I could get that replaced as well. So, as you can see, it just fell right apart. I didn't even have to pull the pin out. Half of it just fell right off. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this the rest of the way. Well, this part, it's kind of amazing how this held together, because this part actually can't fall off because it's got most of the circle left for the pin there. Okay, so we got that off. Let's open up the bag to the new parts here. Now, it does not come with these guys. I don't know why. So I'm just going to install the old ones in place of that. Oh, can't forget to put this guy here in the middle. Alright, now these go a certain way. The flat, see how these are beveled on that side? That bevel goes towards the outside. Can't forget to pop out this, because we do have new ones of these. Don't forget your seals. It did not come with new seals either, so the old seals are going back on, but they looked just fine. Okay, old seal, new spider gear or new output gear. Same width on this side. Got to get that seal off from there. Put that one on. Okay. Now, sometimes this can be a bugger. You got to get both of these on this side and this side lined up the same way. These need to go up towards this gear because they lock in. There's two little holes right there, two little divots, and these points right there lock into those when it bolts together. So get both of these pointing up like so. They can be a bugger to go in sometimes. Do a little something like this maybe. Okay, you can see those are nice and set up in there. Let's make sure it's going to spin. Oh yeah. It's working as it should. I'm going to go ahead and load it up with some 10,000 diff lube. Now, I don't like to use like the 20 million and stuff like I would on the X-Max. You don't need to use that thick on the Revo. It just too much strain on smaller drivetrain pieces. It's just, you just don't need it. Alright, let that settle down in there. Sometimes I kind of spin it so them gears will pull some of that grease down in there. Alright. Now you don't want to forget your seal that goes here. I like to get the seal in and then take a bolt or two and get them, maybe even get all the bolts started in there. So the rubber seal can't fall out of place. Very easy. Something just like that. Okay, now this has been sitting down there for a while and a lot of the grease is sunk down into the open air pockets and whatnot. We're just going to go ahead and sit our little guy right on there. If you're not experienced with using power tools, don't put anything back together with power tools. My son was using power tools the other day because we put a helical cut rear end gear in the mini E-Revo, and he would just be, he wasn't good at giving it light bits of trigger. He would just, you know, kind of like kids are. They're all or nothing. Trying to do everything fast. He also tries to do the same thing with his homework. Okay, get that snug down a little bit. Go back over them all. Make sure they're all tight. Okay, now I'd like to check one more time to make sure everything's working correctly. Yep. Spinning nice and smooth with a decent amount of tension there. So that little bit of thicker juice or thicker silicone oil is doing its job. We're going to go ahead and get into that new casing. Got to get our bearings out of here. Get one stuck in there. Get that one on there. And then go ahead and slide it in here. Okay. We got to put the bearings on the diff itself. So two different size bearings. They'll only go on one side. One's for the right side, one's for the left. There we go. Sit in there. Does it sit in place good? Yes, it does. I'm going to go ahead and use the Track Power gear grease I got here. This is some good stuff here. You can just do something like this or put a glob down in there or whatever. I like to kind of rub it around on the gears to make sure there's some on all the teeth. Just like so. You don't got to worry about putting any down on the pinion gear because this ring gear comes in contact with that pinion gear and it will slop it all over that pinion gear on its own. Nice and greased. And I also am nice and greased now. Okay, now the other half of the diff there. Okay, 4 bolts to hold this sucker back together now. What I also came up with is I came up with a replacement for these drive shafts. Now I already upgraded the axle shafts to metal, but these center drive shafts are still plastic. Well, they've made a mistake or something, guys, because this does not work with what I got going on. When I slide this one all the way forward, look, you can see it won't even fall in the dog bone area. There, it can slide right out. Either way, that ain't gonna work. Well, what the heck? It's like these need to be a little bit longer. Did I put the wrong ones on? They seem to all be the same length. Okay, seeing since how that didn't work, guys, we're going back to the plastic ones. These ones I did replace not that long ago. I do got a little bit of slop going on there. That really bums me out. I did message back King Hobbies where I bought these, and I hope they will respond back quickly and take care of this issue for me. Let's hope that's how it goes. Okay, center drive shaft's back on there. Get this center guy in here. That one does not go there. It hit and bottomed out. The two long ones go in the back. And the shorter ones go all through here. And we put this little thing in, it holds the pins in. Put that on there like that. Okay, we got that skid plate on there. Now, we need to put our axle shafts in place here. That one's in. Get our rocker arm on there. Go ahead and install this pin. There's two different holes. You can go in the top hole or the bottom hole. That's what she said. Anyways, I went with the top hole. As you can see, on that side you got a top or bottom. I did go with the top hole just because that's where I've normally run it, I guess. There's something to do with how it changes handling, and I think you pull better wheelie. It'll pull the front end up more if you use the bottom hole or something like that. Okay, now this rocker arm, we need to get the bolt still stuck in this one here. So this one I need to screw down in there. Okay, got him down in there. I'm trying to line up my shocks here as well. Okay, that one is in place. Go ahead and set that screw in there. Okay, that one's in place. Stick that one down on that side. Okay, top hole. Now this one bolt here goes in on this rocker. When I take this apart, on the left side, the bolt comes out. On the right side, the whole stud comes out and the bolt stays in. But they're meant to come apart both ways. Ooh, this bolt is too long for that. This is the bolt that goes there. There we go. Okay, we need to get our rear tie rod ends here into place. Oh, which makes me think I put this skid plate on prematurely. I'm premature again. That's what she said. That's okay, guys. We've all had that problem, right? 4 more bolts. We're ready to go again. Get that back off. Flip it back over, and go again. as you can see, this deal has to go in there. I think, yeah, you need to get these up in place as well. Get these rear bars up in place, rear toe bars and link bars up in place. Then slide that on. There you go. Got these two little bit longer bolts, and they go through this metal bracket, through your link bars, and into the rear housing there. Now you can go ahead and put this baby on. Now you can finish it off. Again, that's what she said. It's just fitting, guys. I'm just setting myself up for that's what she said jokes. Okay, so we got that on there. Flip it back over. We got our 3 bolts left. It's always good when you're assembling something and you don't have extra screws. Slide your rear wing on. Now your rear wing also has, you want to make sure it's got the 2 different holes. You want to make sure you have that lining up, because you can't with these pins, because you can flex this up or flex it down and get it to enter into the wrong 2 holes. After you get that wing on there the correct way, you put your 3 more bolts in right there. You get them bolted down, and bam, you're all set and ready to go. Now, E-Revo lives to bash another day. Next, we're going to put a new ESC in Minimax here. Alright guys, I hope you liked the video. That's it for now. I'm Traxxas Mike from My RC Life, and I'll see you later. Bye guys. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Every little bit helps. I'll see you later.